Test. So I can do that. Okay, so we're all set then. All right. Good morning, committee members and other parties of interest. This is the evaluation committee for RPS 24-24760, the professional architectural and engineering services for PSOC Renovations. This will be held in part by means of media communication technology. Active participation will be for committee members only. Provisions have been made for any member of the public desiring to have access to view this meeting. The online, internet, and live stream will also be available via recording after the meeting has ended. Please be advised that cone of silence is still in effect. All meetings and correspondence must include me for the time being. My name is Connor Fletcher. I'm the senior buyer assigned to the project for this record. This meeting is being recorded and has been publicly noticed. At this time, I will ask each committee member to introduce themselves for the record, beginning with the committee chair.
Bill Hand, the committee chair. I'm manager of architecture services, capital programs department.
I'm Laura Singer. I'm the division director of operations and maintenance in the facilities department.
I'm Tim Dudley. I'm the division director for Office of Emergency Management, Fire Rescue.
I'm Roberto Crespi. I'm the facilities manager for Hillsborough County Fire Rescue.
And now we're joined by a technical advisor.
George Theron, facility architect for capital programs.
Thank you all. On May 31, 2024, we received a total of 5 proposals. The committee will evaluate, discuss, and score by consensus the 5 proposals received. Each proposal is to be evaluated based on the information provided in their proposal as it correlates to the requirements and evaluation criteria set forth in the solicitation. The committee chair will lead the discussion for the scoring. After each category is discussed, please take the final consensus scoring agreed upon so that I can record it into the scoring spreadsheet. After the conclusion of the scoring, I will verify the scores with the committee and provide the ranking of proposals. Bill, I now turn it over to you.
Okay, I'll just summarize the different evaluation criteria. We have ability of firm and professional personnel, 31 points. Firms experience with projects of a similar size and type, 33 points. Firm's willingness and ability to schedule and budget requirements, 8 points. Affect the firm's recent current and projected workload, 8 points. And then the committee chair will grade the effective project team location of the project. So what I would propose is that we take each proposer separately and go through the criteria and grade them. And I would like to go with Long Associates first on the list. As discussed, the first criteria is ability of firm as professional personnel. They were to attach resumes only for key personnel for the project team, detailing past experience as it relates to projects of a similar size and type. Submit separate organizational charts delineating personnel assigned to both construction and design services if applicable. Clearly indicate the role of each member of the proposed project team. Resumes and organizational charts do not count against the maximum page limit. And then there's a criteria for the different scores. So for Long and Associates, I'm just going to go through the committee and ask what grades you have, and we'll discuss and come to a consensus of our grades for each criteria, starting with this ability of firm as professional personnel. So, Tim, you want to start?
Yes, Tim Dudley. Under the first criteria, I gave him a score of 31.
Okay.
For the first, I gave it a score of 20.
And
Right by.
I gave them a score of 27. So none of our scores match, so we can start talking about what we would propose. I think if you look at the range is within that 25 to 31, which is the exceptional level. So I guess part of it is, looking at the project manager being uniquely qualified, and what would the committee like to do? Let's just talk about You know, Tim, you had graded on the high end. And Laura, you were on the low to that, you talked to 31. So I guess between Roberto and I, we're kind of in the middle. So. Yeah. 27 thoughts. He had a 27, he's got 28 or 31, it's just 21. Part of, you know, their ability is, you know, they do have the integrated firm that has engineering in-house. They have a lot of county experience with critical facility work between the fire stations and sewage and that. So,
And I also gave them the additional credit, for the kitchen and, different facilities, so that's specialty in kitchens as well, since we had, it's a mixed use upgrade from the dormitory to the specialty. So,
would you be willing to compromise?
yeah,
Yes.
yes, I'm open to that. I think I heard like the 28.
Okay, I could go to 23.
Yeah.
Next criteria, number 2, maximum value of 33. This is for the firm's experience. The projects of similar size and type. We don't have a required amount. It basically just says maximum of attendance of projects, preferably during the past 5 years, to indicate proficiency in similar work. So, you know, similar work could be scale as well as critical facility type nature of it. Of course, it also is an addition to a building, so there's renovations and additions. Firm's role would be prime or sub-consultant, so they've indicated which is on their other. So on that, Laura, you want to start?
Sure. It's 25.
Tim?
I gave them a 33.
I give it 24.
Or I give them a 26. So for experience, they've got several fire stations, which isn't an EOC, but it is a critical facility. It does actually board response rooms like that. More similar to the scale of this addition, but not necessarily built up, but or precast, but they do have a lot of precast built up type construction, especially with their CH facility, which is a larger scale project, mostly new construction. So again, I guess, Tim, you're the high with 33. And Roberta, you were the low.
I think that somewhere in the middle is a good compromise. Was okay with that. I, even though they are critical facility, their experience is sound, so I think that a compromise is reasonable. Orientations are not the same thing that when you're doing a public safety. However, the fact that they are critical facility, like you pointed out, it makes it simple.
And they did mention that they're the design criteria architect for the warehouse project, but that's an ongoing project. It's not completed. It doesn't say, this just says successful experience. Doesn't have to necessarily be a completed project, but still they weren't at the time on that. That's still in the selection process. And a lot of these are ongoing projects.
Right, I noticed that too. Yeah, but
Right.
they're not complete.
So what are your thoughts?
And I saw it too, as, so these are additions that we're putting on, would it be in, you know, sleeping quarters, additional bathrooms and kitchens, so in that fire design, they still have some skill set there,
Right.
along with emergency center, so that's why I kind of took it on the high end for that experience there, but I can compromise it.
Okay.
I think that we can increase the average for us.
So we want to go with the 25 or 26.
I think 26 would be a good number.
Okay.
25.
So the next criteria. Number 3, that's for firm's willingness and ability to meet schedule and budget. 8 points. This one includes providing a narrative for how they propose to manage the project, indicate controls to be utilized, describe how personnel will be assigned and task efficiently handled. Unique issues to focus on with this project scope, suggestions on how the proposed schedule can be further accelerated. Some of these questions weren't answered, some were by the different proposers. But,
And some of them were very generic. So
so I'll just start my grade, I think I'm a 6 on the 6s.
I gave him a 6.
Again.
I gave it a 6.
6. Okay, 3 6s and 1 8. Can you live with the 6 or? Okay, we'll go with a 6. Okay, number 4. Effective firm's recent current and projected workload, 8 points. Maximum 8 points. Describe the current workload and daily ability to handle the scope of services, providing graphic representation of current commitment over the 1 year period, next 1 year period. So on that one, I gave them a 7 out of 8.
I gave it a 7 as well.
Set 3 7s and an 8. On the number 5, should I just give them all at the end or do them as we go?
Provide them now.
Okay. So for criteria 5, the location, I gave long a 19.
Yep.
Out of 20.
And why did you provide that?
Local is any county within the Tampa Bay Regional Partnership. That's Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, Polk, and Sarasota, and Hernando. So in that higher range, all of their prime and consultants are within their area. Food service consultant was Sarasota, not required in the scope for a food service consultant. But otherwise, they were all located in Hillsborough, so I gave them a fairly high score. Get to that.
The scores I have recorded for Law and Associates are 28 for evaluation criteria.
No, let me, how about you?
28 for evaluation criteria 1, 26 for evaluation criteria 2, 6 for evaluation criteria 3, 7 for evaluation criteria 4, and 19 for evaluation criteria 5. You agree?
Agreed. So we want to move on to the next one I have is CPH. So we'll start with ability of firm and professional personnel, 41 points max. You want to start, Roberto?
Yes. I gave them a 26.
Okay, Laura,
I gave him 20.
Tim,
Give them 30.
and I gave them a 19. So I was low and you were high before. So the thing
What
about
was your number, Bill? 19,
Mine was 20.
20, 30, and 26. So we should be in the 21 range. I mean, we're really average down.
We do a consensus score. We do not do average scores. Everybody must agree on one set score. You do not take averages. But
So it'd be 119.
119, I think part of it was related to their work chart. Page 32.
That one.
Right. So their architect, basically their architect is also their project manager, has had 32 years experience, which is very good. Um, They do also have in-house expertise.
So the-
civil.
I tell you, the issue for me on here was somewhere in the write-up is saying that they are such a large firm that they can reach out outside the local office and get resources. And that could be, yeah, and that could be positive and it could be negative. The positive, it is that they have the resources to prioritize the project. The negative, it is how do you coordinate that internally with that structure that they presented to us? And that structure they presented to us, organizational chart, in other words, is not described as such. So my concerns are more on the negative side of that. You start farming it to other offices, it becomes more difficult to coordinate the quality of the project. And also it will become more expensive as well.
So what are your thoughts?
I don't disagree with Roberto. I have that in my notes too. High number of staff located in multiple states.
They do have a tandem office, but it's a small, sub office that bring, most of their staff are out of Maitland, is what I understood when looking at that.
So we are all agreeing that we have to find a compromise on the numbers. What do you think?
Right, it's about, well, what are your thoughts?
Well,
You were kind of between.
right, and I didn't see about shared it.
Suburban and I were.
Yeah. I was 20.
Yeah. Oh, you had this one.
Yeah.
So Roberta's is
26.
26. So what are your thoughts, Roberta?
We can come down more, I can come down more to wood on that. Reach some sort of,
Well, we have to, come to some kind of agreement.
remember, that it's not about the average, it's about the mean.
What was it, 26?
I think that I would be, considering what you guys have said, what was your number?
Mine was 20.
And you Bill, I think that. What are your thoughts?
Well, I did see a lot of shared experience. You know, working on different projects, so that was a little bit of a concern to me. So that's kind of why I went with the 20.
But it is a very good point too. If they don't have the experience working together.
Yeah.
But it will not help us. I can use it.
21?
21, I could go with it. 21 is fine. So.
Given to experience that it's the 33 points max, successful recent projects with similar experience. I had, for them, actually, I had a 25.
I got 26. Hold on, hold on,
CPH.
yeah. I have the 23.
Again, with 32. I took a look at their experience, so their projects included fire stations, emergency operations centers, training facilities, medical complexes.
Part of what I was looking at is they did have a lot that were incomplete or on hold, like the APOCA public safety. That one's still to be determined. It looked like they're just starting to design on it. Sanford operations and emergency is ongoing. I think they're getting ready to start. Actually, design is ongoing. So it's look like on the schedule. They don't have a budget yet, it just said TBD. But the Monroe County Fire Station, that's completed. Remodel expansion of West Melbourne, that was completed in 2017, a little bit beyond the 5 years, but still that's the Bari public safety completed a little earlier, 2015. That was kind of more residential looking, I don't know, or still building panels and stuff
The
like that.
quality of these projects and the relationship PSOC, we know this is happening.
And standalone.
Yes. So the complexities of working again an existing PSOC, that it will be operational, but we are running also logistic operations during hurricane season. It is all part of that equation. If everything has to flow without being down. They have experience, they can do the work, there is no questions about that. It is that they are not shown that they have done something similar to what we're asking.
And my concern was they had a large number, but they were, the other ones, the Inn headquarters, Ocala Armory, Orlando, Sanford, Bartow Public Works.
See, with the
There, none of those are really completed. They're just either ongoing or TBD for completion dates and budgets.
yeah,
City Tampa Municipal Services, that was a consultant.
That would work in.
Both there. It's MEP, they had coherent time.
Correct. Voltaire is electrical mechanical for them to be there, so I looked at them. And while the building is fine and we haven't heard anything negative about the city of Tampa, I consider that also on my score from the city.
Okay. So what are your thoughts? You have the highest score.
yeah, I can go to this thing. So all valid points.
Who had the 25? But that means some. Yes.
What was your?
Yeah, that was on.
25.
So you had
26.
We're on experience now.
Number 2.
You said 26?
Yeah.
Let's go back again. Okay, I had a 25.
Okay, I had it 23.
So that's 32. And you had 6. I wrote down 22.
So we are up to the 26.
I could go to 26.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So criteria 3. Willingness and ability to schedule and budget, maximum 8. I had 5.
For Bill, I had a 4.
8. Lauren?
Dude, I wish I would have had a call this now.
4. Yeah.
2 4s, a 5 and an 8.
I did too.
So why did you give them an 8?
I took a look at it. They said they had 2 approaches to it. with the construction costs. The facility improvements, after that, and then the second is related to the operations and maintenance costs for the construction cost team, providing the county updates costs throughout the design phase. So, I really like the consistency and providing the updates and costs throughout the design of the project.
I second that. I think that was a good approach. However, I found the write-up to be extremely generic. And in fact, it was so generic that it talked about a construction manager during the write-up, and it's not what we intend to do here. It's a traditional bidding. So that in itself turned me off a little bit because they were not responding specifically to our.
The thing that I didn't see was, any suggestions on how to, accelerate the project schedule. They didn't provide a sample schedule, or in the narrative, they didn't really talk about acceleration options.
No,
So, between, 2 4s, 5 and 8, do we have a consensus?
I think that 5 could be the number, but 4, I feel very comfortable with 4 as well.
I can do fine.
Okay.
I agree.
Fine. Or since it's the workload. Or what did you have on workload?
I had a 5 on that as well.
I had, 7. What did you have?
If I,
9.
So the 2 5s, what was you thought about what they had?
and we gotta get.
What were your thoughts?
It's following again, I cut the size to provide the services, so we are coming back to the same general situation. They can own resources from other offices. However, with that capability, the project manager, the project architect that is local, that is very little utilized. The utilization rate for this element is very, very low. It tells me they need work really bad. And that presents some challenges on how they bill later on, how much time they put up the option. So that is why my concern went to a 5. I have a tough time with this firm of that size, having a person double roles when they have that many options.
And, 5 to 6 would be adequate time available personnel. They were showing 60% available. So that's pretty much what. So with the 2 5s, 7 and 8, what are your thoughts?
I think that was- And, they only did 1 page. They had up to 2 pages. I thought it was somewhat basic information, but didn't really describe the project workload that they had. But I could go.
I had this, what are your thoughts?
What was your number?
Mine was 5, right?
5?
Where
I'll come forward with the 7. Between the 2 5s, you go 7, 8.
8, 7. Even 6.
6?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with 6?
Yeah, we can do 6.
6. That bump. The location, I gave them 18. That was. That they have. Their prime is. They're showing them graphically in 3 locations from their map. Primarily the Tampa office with staff support from Lakeland and Sarasota, which are both considered local counties. MEP and geotechnical were located in Tampa for the residents. They didn't load it in the market. So, any questions about that score?
No, I actually had it scored out without knowing that you was short to be scored one, and I have an excellent one.
Oh,
Okay, for CPH LLC. Evaluation criteria 1, that was score of 21. For criteria 2, a score of 26. For criteria 3, a score of 5. For criteria 4, a score of 6. And for criteria 5, a score of 18. Provides a total score of 76 there.
let's do Wilder next. Starting with the first criteria, ability of firm and its professional personnel. I gave them a 19. Roberta? Hold on. Yes.
Correct.
Yes. How many did you get?
I gave 27.
So, and I gave him a 29. Okay, so we go from 19, my 19 to your 29.
I felt that the team, the team of engineers and architects did a sample down action. It is proven, team that have done extensive work successfully for the county, and very good like recently, found that they have done good work. We haven't had any issues at this point. I found that people strong. From the civil engineers all the way to the architect, right, or principal for it.
Okay, so there's principal, Don Thompson, project manager was Giovanni Bageport. They really identified two project managers, Giovanni and Hank Amaryllis Rodriguez. Sub-consultants, Rob Anston, WGI, electrical, mechanical. Structural was I'm not looking at.
Yes, we are using it, you know, for what is his name, Master, see, Master, yeah, Master.
Look, structural engineer?
Yeah.
Garcia Alvarado. That's it. Oh, that's the sub. End of this sometime.
It is Master. But
So they basically have the one org chart that goes through with design construction. Campo was the civil on the original PSOC. So I definitely think that probably should come up a little.
I would tell you, you know, we can discuss the other points as we need to, but I feel very strong about that thing. They have the experience on the building. They have the resources to be seen. But certainly they have experience and expertise. The structural engineer is confirmed that this was traded. LCI, I mean, absolutely, whatever it is.
Well, they said WGI actually does the structural.
Okay.
So Marcia is, well, you know,
Correct. So this team is really good.
the large one.
Yeah, it's very electrical now.
So you and I were close.
Yeah.
20.
Right.
So
I think that I'm really 27 is a good number for me.
are you okay with that? So,
Met.
okay.
That's on the met.
Oh, that's right.
Well, we're correct.
That's for a while.
So 27 for the first. firm's experience with projects of similar size? Or what do you think?
I had a 25.
I had, 18.
I probably 23.
Give it a 29.
20. So I was a bit lower.
The only reason that I gave him 23, although I didn't see a lot of experience in this, in the typology of public safety and operation complexes, it is because of the civil engineer. That the fact that she worked at PSOC, that she has a track record already, or knowledge about it. It is a valuable element to have. With that said, the firm doesn't have a lot of experience if they wanted to. They have fire stations, but that in itself is not a public safety operations complex. That was my system.
And that's why I took some of the points off for mine as well.
The one thing I didn't like, but they didn't really provide the construction pricing, but most of their experiences from the county, so of course I'll do that. The critical facilities they mentioned are basically the 3 fire stations. But the other work was to me not similar, like Kerwood Park, York Innovation Academy, Lockport Warehouse. It's a very small project. Ports training facility was just a interior renovation. Keystone Master Plan was, was an addition to a building that non-critical. So I scored them lower for that. Glad they 23.
I did.
What are your thoughts?
20, yeah. So, somewhere between 20 and 25.
I could do 24.
24. 24 it is.
Okay, next one is schedule and budget. Or what did you have?
I had a 4.
Roberta?
I got 5.
I had a 5. So 2 5s, a 4, and an 8. Or you had a 4.
Yeah.
I think on the project scope, they didn't really say anything about specifically about the
Yeah.
project scope.
The speech.
Yeah, it's kind of, right.
Yeah, it
And
was,
that's kind of why.
Talked about mean space budget.
they didn't spend a lot of time with, what I say, the situation specifically. But what I mean was mostly, I knew that they can do it, but it's in the confinements of each project, it was,
Why they didn't put it in their policies. You be willing to go to a fine? Roberta?
yeah, that was my line.
Okay. Workload. For workload, I gave them a 4.
I get them 4 as well.
I gave them a 7. Roberta?
I gave them 4.
So for this one, they had the least workload availability. They showed 30 to 40% availability.
And that in itself, Bill, it is very difficult for us to remove everything that we know and put it with
This
particular
particular
approach.
A lot of them are.
So it is very difficult for me to avoid weighing that component that I know. I would say that they are capable of doing the work, but right now, according to what they presented, they will stop.
So 3 4 7. You feel like over 4? For location, I gave them a 20. It basically had, the team was all kind of close within, close proximity of Ybor City, so that's.
Okay. For Wild Architecture, Inc. The evaluation criteria 1, I have a score of 27. For criteria 2, a score of 24. Criteria 3, a score of 5. Criteria 4, a score of 4. And criteria 5, a score of 20. That provides a total of 8.
Let's do once, next,
Notes.
once, okay. So, for months. Ability of firm and its professional personnel. I gave them a 20. I gave them a 23. That was 28.
That's one.
2 20s, a 23 and 21. I felt, and I can go lower, by the way. I felt that the organizational chart that they presented, it was flawed. The way that they are going to communicate, the senior architect or the principal in charge, it's a linear pattern that they are presenting, that it will lend itself to challenges in the communication process. I don't think that they thought it through carefully. And to me, when you cannot spend that amount of time to figure it out, how you're going to work as a team, it's very difficult to have a successful function. So yours was 23, 23. But I can go. I can go over. So the good thing was they have OCI, who was the MVP of record for the PSOC. But OCI's in Orlando, but we're not really evaluating location here. And by the way, we are going to consider that. It's also remembered that PSOC was a design build. So that meant that OCI worked for the design builder, for the counties. Ratification paper stuff. So
That was 20.
So the two of us. 23.
You want to go lower than 23?
Well, they are at 20, so 23 is a good number to me.
I come to 23.
I go to 23.
That's
So number 2. Project experience with projects of similar size, 5 to 33 points max. I gave them a 25. I gave them a 22.
That's 22.
I gave them 30.
225, 2 22s and 25 and a 30. The reason for me was, they have a lot of experience, it seems, with law enforcement projects. But I didn't see a lot of experience with public safety conferences. I would also tell you that the team is very young, experience-wise. And when you are dealing with a facility like ours, you need to see experience. The complexities, not only before, during, and after, will be something that will need to be evaluated as well. And that is what I do in consideration. 10 more year plans.
25,
25, I was 22.
I was 25. And I was 30. That's compared to my grouping. But my number, I took off for that, brought it down to 30. Some of the same things from Roberto, so I didn't see that level of experience on this side. So it'll still stay in line with But where I want to go, I can come into the 25.
All right, three forms of willingness and ability to be scheduled on the budget. Laura, what do you do? Before. 10, 7. I have 6. So everybody's different. But the order between 4 and 7. Who had the form?
I did. And again, it goes back to how they are organizing themselves. If they cannot communicate properly, because they have a very straightforward linear approach, who is communicating with us on budget, who is communicating with us on schedule, who is communicating with us on value engineering in multi-parameter approaches to make times. None of that was explained by him. To me, again, adding to that lack of experience in dealing with complex billing. That was what it was in my mind when I said.
Who was the 7?
I was the 7. And again, I took off based on my own, I gave him a 7 in that as well as that, just kind of reading through it. It's not very detailed. It's just kind of generic. And he gave a couple examples for the NOAA Center 2016, 2017 case studies. Yeah, a couple of case studies. Some in there from sheriff's office, but
I thought their schedule was kind of interesting. They had design schedule indicating 3-month permanent schedule, which is that's not really appropriate for our permitting. No bid period indicated 5-month construction period, which is odd. So
Getting the elevator alone would take us maybe 4 or 5 months. 6 months, 7 months, I get it.
I think our project schedule we published was 11 months. I'll put it in.
7.
I had a 6.
I got it for
And I was 5.
I think that's what mine, but so the next one is recent current projected workload 8 points. Dan, what did you?
Give him an 8. Okay. It had the capacity.
I had a 6. What did you have? Robert?
7.
And I was 7.
2 6s, a 7 and an 8. That one they showed 40 to 50% availability. What I saw there, so they were on the low end of availability. Close to
They show the availability for the architectural farm only. They even discuss that also, consultants, and that was partly why maybe that was some of them. So yeah, they have the availability, but I don't know the consultants.
Well, we had 2 6s or the others. Well,
Yes, yes.
Team location. This one. They have 2 offices, which is kind of confusing for the prime. One office is in a local county, Polk County. The other one is in Eval. So I gave her for that one a 6. No, I'm sorry, I'm 14 is what I should.
You get about 14?
14 elevation. The other thing was their MVP was so.
Yeah.
Okay. Lunch group scoring. For criteria 1, I would score 23. For criteria 2, a score of 25. For criteria 3, a score of 5. For criteria 4, a score of 6. For criteria 5, a score of 14. Total score of 73.
So the last one is, WJ Architect. One of the business. Ability to firm its professional personnel. Emily.
WJ gave it 29.
Word of
26.
6. I gave them for ability 18. So I'm just go. So 9. Thing that struck me was their project manager was not licensed of all the proposers. They don't have a lot of licensed architect chasing others.
I agree with you, Bill. I felt that we have a strong team, but it's a young team that have complicated the way that they are organizing themselves. With the director of public safety for the company being the one talking to the county, not the project manager. And to me, when you start having those role complexities, you shouldn't call yourself project manager, you should call yourself project coordinator, rather than project manager. So I don't want to be dealing with 3, 4 different people. We have to have a sole point of responsibility for this project process.
And your score was 26. 26.
I don't. Like 26. I'm at 20. You were at 20.
I was at 20, and
You go all the way up to 26. About 25.
it must be 20.
25 is fine. Okay. Firm's experience with projects of similar size and product, maximum 33.
I gave them a 26, Bill. I felt that the company has experience in typology developments.
I gave them a 27.
I was 26.
6, no, it's 30. 2 26s, a 27, and 31. Awesome. That's the 31. Why did you choose 26? Well, you can go to 26. Okay, 26. Pretty willingness and ability to meet schedule and budget, maximum 8 points. I gave 8 on this one. So I gave it a good job. Or
I gave them a 5. Very generic response. They didn't think it through this project. They should see that it was a very, if we go by weight, this was indeed the most successful project with the response, but the quality of the response in relationship to what we spent, it was generic, and I didn't like it.
what was yours?
Finally, 8.
It was a 7.
The 7.
Yeah.
So I did note that they talked a lot about CM, which was
Yes.
related to this. But they did talk about the problem of maintaining operations and how to work this into an existing operating model, which I thought was good. They
Yeah,
had 5 design that they've done.
that was important to me as well. Not to disrupt operations.
Yeah, and I think that would be.
They did identify early
As a
packages.
consideration.
They talked a lot about the schedule. So anyway, 2 8s, a 5 and a 7. I picked it as a 7.
7 will be fine.
Effective firms, recent occurrence, projected workload, maximum 8,
7,
7. Roberta,
6.
6, 8. I gave.
The reason that I made mistakes was I was looking, this farm gave us a lot of information here regarding their team. Which was very appreciative of that. With that said, when you look at our schedule and you look at the backlog in relationship to the time frame that they are stating, we are going to be doing this project when they have a huge backlog, and most of their work will be being processed. So that was a concern for me, because this will add to that in a manner that maybe hinders their capacity to present themselves in front of them. Good at they seem to be.
They did give individual staff projections.
Yes.
Yeah, it looked like they had across the firm 80% capacity, so they were like the most capable.
But the problem is that they try picking up work again, right about the quarter in which we.
This will actually.
Correct. That is what my concern was. That is why I tended to, but then again, they are successful in what they are doing, so.
Would you go to a 7?
Yeah.
7. Location. Gave them a 17. That was related to MEP was not local. Everybody else was in a local.
Wanamaker Johnson Architectures, Inc., evaluation criteria 1, 25. Criteria 2, 26. Criteria 3, 7. Criteria 4, 7. Criteria 5, 17. Total score of 82. So now we'll go through the additional scoring points. This will include the DWBE participation, EOAA, past performance, and volume of work. First up will be Long and Associates with a subtotal currently at 86. They were awarded 5 points for DWBE, 4 points for EOAA, 4 points for past performance, 1 point for volume of work. That is 14 bonus points for a total score of 100. Wanamaker Jensen Architects Inc. Subtotal score of 82. DWBE participation 5. EOAA 4. Past performance 3. Volume of work 5. That's 17 bonus points for a total score of 99. Wilder Architecture Inc. Subtotal score is 80. DWBE participation 5. EOAA 4. Past performance 5. Volume of work 0. Bonus point score 14. Total score 94. CPH LLC. Subtotal. 76. DWBE participation 0. EOAA 3. Past performance 3. Volume of work 5. 11 bonus points total. Total score 87. Lunch group. Subtotal score 73. DWBE participation 0. EOAA 3. Past performance 3. Volume of work 5. 11 bonus points. Total score 84. With ranking, Long Associates rank 1. Wanamaker Jensen Architects rank 2. Wilder Architecture Inc. rank 3. CPH LLC rank 4. Blunt Group rank 5. the wrench by score go 100, 99, 94, 87, 84.
Both good drop off.
Yes, sir. There is.
So swap this three.
Yes, sir.
A less than three, so. Three sounds like that.
That was. No, Brad. Sorry.
Get back.
For us, step 3.
We can assign anything.
Yes, sir. We have a signature sheet. Right. Anything else of record?
So we entered our individual scores in there in the bonfire. We adjust those according to the consensus.
Okay. I will now end the recording.
Can we talk a little bit about the next steps then?